Hello. Welcome to Gospel Share Missions. 4 Fields Discipleship Multiplication Training. This is the introduction lesson. With this video, you can train yourself first on the process before training others. Let's start with the ministry and training review. Gospel Chariot and Share Missions are 2 worldwide Church of Christ ministries. The Gospel Chariots are like a Church of Christ on wheels. Currently there are several chariots in different countries in Africa and one recently built in the United States for America and Latin America. In Gospel Chariot, our mission is to invade Africa and the world with gospel chariots preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ and multiplying disciples and churches everywhere, using the Gospel Share Mission's 4 Fields Discipleship Evangelism tools. In Gospel Share, our mission is to train Christians worldwide for the Great Commission by being intentional in sharing the gospel, making disciples who make disciples. Our training manual has charts and drawings. Currently it has been translated into around 20 different languages. We also have the notes and drawings document for those who are being trained. While the training manual has the answers, in the notes and drawings there are blank spaces for the participants to fill out as the trainer teaches the lessons in PowerPoint. Our main Facebook page, you can find it as Gospel Share Missions, and we invite you to visit and like it. Now, let's review our 4 Fields training program. The training begins with 5 introduction lessons that will help us understand God's big vision. After this, we enter to the 4 Fields training, the 12 simple, biblical, and reproducible tools. We have 2 tools to identify an empty field, the good soil, the receptive heart. Then, 3 tools to sow the seed, the gospel. 2 tools to help the growth of the new plants. These are the new believers growing in Jesus. 2 tools for the harvest, the church, on how to gather in a healthy way. And 3 tools for those who are led to develop in leadership, tools that they will be able to practice immediately and over time will help to form and mature future evangelists, deacons, or elders. This training consists of 12 sessions of 1 hour each. When you train by Zoom, we use this program format with 3 columns. And when you train face-to-face, we use this other format. In terms of vision and goals, we are equipping the Church of Christ in 51 countries or more. Now, ask your participants to locate page 2 of notes and drawings so that they can fill in the blanks. At Gospel Share Missions we have identified 3 problems that the church is going through, and we share 3 solutions. The first problem is that we are not making disciples who make other disciples. Ask your participants to fill in the blank with the word, disciples. The second problem is that we are not gathering and forming groups in the community that multiply. Tell them to write the word, groups. It seems that sometimes the goal is just to bring people to church, but not to equip and send them out. The third problem is that we are not developing and multiplying local leaders in our communities. Sometimes it's just 1 or 2 leaders doing everything in church. Now let's look at 3 solutions. First, we must move from not only going to church but going to the lost. We must move from only professionals reaching the lost to everyone reaching the lost. And we need to move from just teaching information to also teaching obedience. The church well equipped, being active believers and not passive receivers for Jesus. At Gospel Chariot and Share Missions we intentionally set goals each year. Goals of sharing the gospel, training the saved, planting churches and groups, entering new countries, and equipping leaders. Now let's see the difference between teaching and training. Ask your participants to continue filling out page 2 where they are. Teaching is when we give or receive information to gain knowledge. This is learning. Ask them to fill in the blanks. On the other hand, training is give or receive information and tools to practice the information received. Practicing is important. That is why your notes and drawings will be very important in this training. But after learning and practicing there is a goal. The goal is to share what you have learned with others. It is like the example of those who learn the theory of how to swim. Not only the theory is needed, but they also need to enter the water equipped to practice. So, in this training, we are going to get into the water. We are going to practice among ourselves the information that we will receive. Now let's see the importance of learning, practicing, and sharing. Ask your participants to fill in the percentages in the blank spaces on their sheet. This source reveals something interesting about our ability to retain what we learn. It says that, when we listen, we retain 5%. When we read, we retain 10%. When we see a graph, we retain 20%. When we hear and see a graph, 30%. When we discuss the information with each other, 50%. When we do it and write it, 80%. But when we teach someone else what we learn, we retain up to 90 to 95%. In Matthew chapter 28, Jesus' commandment is making disciples by baptizing them and teaching them. In the 4 Fields discipleship training we will do all this. God bless you as you train others to train others. In our next video we will train you with lesson 1.